right, here we are, day 3 of Patriots training camps officially in the books. Mike Dussault, Tamara Brown, Paul Perillo, we're here to catch you guys up on everything that happened on Friday's practice here at Patriots training camp. And guys, I'm going to, of course, start where you know I was going to start, which is just before practice started, news broke that the Patriots had extended Jabril Peppers, one of my favorite guys on the team. I just love the energy he brings, was entering the last year of his deal. And I just think he brings great energy. He made a lot of plays last year. He's a really good player. I'm excited. Tamara, what did you think of the move?
You're not the only person who likes his energy. Gerard Mayo, in his press conference this morning, talked about that as well. The energy he brings to this defense, that's what he's excited about. And for me personally, I love the dog that is in Jabril Peppers. You said it yesterday when you turn on that x-ray machine, the inside of him, you just see that dog sitting in the middle of his bones. That's what I love about him. He plays with his heart out every single time he's on the field.
Absolutely. Now, Paul, this is maybe complicates things a little bit. I want to, just flip it a little bit to you. I'm not going to make you gush over Peppers. Me and Tamara can do that.
Oh, I can
just
do that.
fine.
I can do that too. I think it's a terrific signing, and I think that obviously with Duggar already locked up, now you have those two guys together, and they're still 27, 28 years old. So you figure that's really a quality safety tandem for the next 3 years anyway. So yeah, a really solid move.
Just to tie it in though, Paul, yesterday we mentioned that Davon Godchaux didn't really participate. We didn't know what was going on. Reports today, though, that he was dealing with some cramping, some stiffness, was back out there today. But we did hear from Godchaux after practice. And, you look at Peppers, another guy, gets an extension. We know Judon and Godchaux are still waiting. You were there talking to Godchaux. What did you hear from him?
Yeah, I mean, I thought he was pretty pointed in some of the comments that he made. Like Judon, he wanted to stress that he is really happy for his teammates that have gotten the extensions already. But he kind of feels like, guys like Grover Stewart, DeForest Buckner, a guy Thompson, who I'm not overly familiar with, that gets Gavin Thompson, guys that similarly do not play on all 3 downs, come off the field on 3rd downs. He'd like to be a little bit closer to those guys, and he really stressed the guaranteed money. He's dealing with with no guaranteed money, which I sort of think is strange because I do think that veterans that are going to be part of the team, I don't really think that, provided that none of this was going on, I don't think his roster spot's in doubt at all. And as long as you're on the team, you're going to get your base salary. So it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. But Godchaux was not backing down from his stance from whenever, say a month ago, 6 weeks ago, when he expressed some displeasure.
So just a couple other housekeeping things as well to mention. We saw Marte Mapu came out midway through practice, just kind of watched. Same thing with Christian Barmore. We heard yesterday, kind of dealing with a sickness. Antonio Gibson back on the field, but not really participating. Anything else I'm missing there, Paul, just in terms of the people we get into practice?
The other guy would be Terrell Jennings, an undrafted rookie running back. But yeah, I didn't see much from Godchaux. Barmore and Mapu. Came out about a half hour after practice started. I didn't think either one of them really had a helmet on for very long, if at all. And something to keep an eye on. I know the reports were that Barmore was under the weather. I'm not sure what Mapu's situation was. I will just throw out there, during conditioning runs on Thursday, Mapu did not run on the hills. He did some work on his own in the end zone, big medicine ball, sort of getting some isometric work done. So maybe he's dealing with something physical.
I will say one more thing on the housekeeping note. Pop Douglas, Gerard Mayo, did say in his press conference today that he's working through a few things. That's why we haven't seen him in team drills.
And a report indicated it was a hand with Demario Douglas.
Good stuff. So that kind of sets the table, if you will, guys. Another kind of, I would say, and we said, what was the theme of practice today? I said growing pains. We saw some growth. We saw some, some more struggles. Let's admit it with the offense. But Tamara, I want to just start with, one little sequence for Drake Maye where throws a pick 6 to Matthew Judon late in the down, comes back, and then the very next drill, throws some completions, hit Jalen Polk with, probably the throw of the day. What did you see from Drake Maye today?
I saw a guy who has resilience. I think that he said this in his press conference afterwards. You cannot ride the wave. You cannot ride the roller coaster up and down. That's how you don't survive in this league. So I like the way he responded. He came right back out there in the next team drill, completed a couple passes, so he didn't end on that interception that Judon had.
Yeah, we heard from all 4 quarterbacks after practice. Jacoby Brissett actually indicated that it was, it was kind of a good moment that he threw the pick and then was able to, make a completion shortly thereafter. And I do wonder if the extra reps that he got with a bunch of secondary players after that was maybe an effort to get him back. But, we heard from Drake, and man, that kid's upbeat. I mean, I don't know if he's had too many bad days. He just, talked about, how excited it is. He's got the install. He feels really comfortable. getting a grasp of what they're doing and feels comfortable with what they're doing. And, talked a little bit about running and sort of balancing, the decision-making there, when to tuck and run. But, yeah, I mean, I think overall, you said growing pains before we went down to talk to the quarterbacks. And I would say from Brissett to Zappi to, and I didn't hear any of Milton. I know that you went over to Joe, Tamara. All of them, they all talked about exactly that. There's going to be some ups and downs. Obviously, we're working through some differences.
Yeah, let's mention Joe Milton real quick, Tamara, because I think he's had
he
a
threw
pretty
the
good,
ball really well today.
Pretty good couple of days. We see the arm. Early in camp in the spring, it seemed like he, maybe once things there were more defenders out there, he was kind of struggling to process a little bit, but some nice plays today. He's getting some chances. It seems like he's making the most of his opportunities.
I agree, Mike. I think when Bazooka Joe first got here, there was a lot of question marks on, is he going to be able to deliver those short passes, those slant passes across the field? And I think he's shown his ability to do that. And I would like to say maybe it's because of all of the footwork and technique work that they've done throughout the spring that's really slowed him down a lot.
Yeah. I mean, I got to say, I like having him out there. I know there was, some controversy. Well, how's Drake Maye going to react? Just good to have talent on the field, and just from a pure fan perspective, it's just fun watching him uncork some passes. Paul, just one more guy I just want to kind of throw at you, Marcus Jones. I feel like he's been kind of active in the defense, and we talked all season on Patriots Unfiltered about some questions at the cornerback room. How are they going to fill the slot? Miles Bryant's not here anymore. It seems like Marcus Jones putting together a couple good days himself.
Yeah, I would say that's his job. Based on what we've seen, it's been Gonzalez, Jonathan Jones, and Marcus Jones. Today, I thought it was a little interesting. In 7-on-7s, you saw a lot of Marcus Jones outside. I don't know if that was just strictly based on the offensive personnel that was on the field, and they were in man, as an example, and he was just taking his man, or if it was, something that they're sort of flipping guys around. But Marcus Jones has been pretty tight in his coverage through the first 3 days of work.
One more point just to bring up offensive line. Everybody always watching that. A lot of rotation going on, and I'd say it's hard to really know who's where because there's just been so much rotation, so many different guys playing with different guys. But today we saw something a little bit different. We saw Chuck Okorafor, who we've been seeing almost exclusively at left tackle, now on the right side. Caden Wallace, the rookie, getting a look on the left side, guys. So
yeah.
I don't know what to say other than there's a lot of rotation going on, and honestly, it's made things maybe a little bit choppy because there were a lot of plays today. Quarterback trying to roll out. There's guys right in his face. Does it seem like, Tamara, I know you're talking about it on Patriots Unfiltered throughout the show today, when are they going to settle on a 5? I mean, I know it's 3 practices, but it seems like ideally they could start to settle in and start to establish some continuity there.
I really hope that by the end of those joint practices, they do have that continuity down with those 5 players because Gerard Mayo talked about it. We don't know who our best 5 is. We're going to try to figure it out. I hope that it doesn't take the entire preseason to figure that out because how is Drake Maye, Jacoby Brissett, whoever is the starter, going to be comfortable playing behind that line?
Yeah. What do you think, Paul? I mean, what's the condition of the line right now?
Yeah, I mean, it hasn't been great. It's a work in progress, and I think that's been the biggest stumbling block for the offense in general. I think there have been too many plays that have gotten blown up before they got a chance to start.
Yeah. So 3 practices in the books. Now the team is going to be off tomorrow on Saturday, which of course means no Patriots training camp cast. Sorry about that. But we will be back on Sunday with another practice, and then we're all kind of looking at Monday. That sounds like the first pads day. So I'm curious, Paul, we've done these for a while now. Is the Sunday, the day after the day off, kind of a ramp-up period and maybe a little bit slow, maybe a little more walkthrough-y? I don't know. We don't know what to expect from Gerard Mayo, but it could be the case.
I don't know either. I think it's a good question. I think there's really hard to get rid of all of those things that you sort of have ingrained from 20-plus years of Belichick to see how it's going to change. Like, we haven't seen a ton of special teams periods through the first 3 days, and we always saw those with Bill. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see what Gerard does.
Yeah, we did see a little kicker competition today, too, so not completely devoid of special
very
teams.
Successful kicking competition today. I didn't really see any kicks that were missed.
No, but we were at a weird perspective, though, so you never know for sure.
This is true.
But we're having a great time here. We're 3 days into camp. We're kind of getting these early days out of the way. And, of course, next week, regardless, pads coming, so we're going to amp up the competition a little bit. So we hope you'll stick here with us on Patriots.com. We'll have you covered through the rest of training camp.